This glass away. Cheers, brother.
Oh, yeah. Cheers.
Good to see you, man.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
I think the last time I saw you, you were playing at La Brisa at a party.
With our escape party.
Yes. Yeah. Those parties are crazy, eh?
That was good times, man. That was just before. That was like when Bali was rocking.
Are you still doing those?
We are, but we're not at La Brisa at the moment.
No.
So we're doing Warehouse, a bit more sort of late 90, and then Cliff House, I think, is our next one, funnily enough.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So hanging out with like Josh and the boys.
Yeah.
And that open air vibe. Speaking which, you guys, how was it on Saturday?
That party was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was so fun. I'm still buzzing from it, actually. Yeah, Need to Freak. That was their first international party.
Yep.
Those boys have been doing good stuff over in Oz.
Yeah. Is Need to Freak Fritter's thing?
Fritter and Wongo.
Oh, they've joined up.
Yeah.
And is that their kind of label?
They just started a record label from it, but it's mainly their party brand at the moment. And they've been throwing crazy parties. I think every party's been sold out.
That's a sick word, Need to Freak.
Need to Freak. Yeah, pretty much sums it up
Mike
too.
Dunn say that. Yeah.
And their party the other night up at Cliff House, I think they did like 1,500 people or something, 1,600 people.
Wicked. That's sick.
Wild night. It was pissing down rain.
And held? Mm-hmm. People were just like up for it?
I think at one stage I was DJing and I had like 10 dudes holding umbrellas. Like I could barely see the crowd. It was just like, let's go.
Let's go. I saw this. Kelly Slater was in the booth supporting. It's pretty big.
Kelly rocked up. Celeste Barber, full A-list vibes there for a bit.
Yeah, the A-list.
Pretty classic. Up on stage. The stage was about to cave in. You know, Bali was just like
it held.
Bouncing all over the place. The decks are sitting in like a puddle of water. It was pretty sketchy, but
Jesus,
good vibes.
No emergency loops?
Nah. I think at one stage, like my tempo fader just started wigging out, and it was just like, whatever you can do, just get it going.
Yeah, analog. It's final.
That's it, eh?
That's awesome, man. How would you describe, like, so this was the first party the boys did, right? And they brought you over.
First party overseas.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they brought you. Is this the first time you've been back since the pandemic?
To Bali? Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and did you manage to get to Oz in the last 2 years as well?
Not for the peak of it. I think the first week they opened up Queensland for like the borders to travel. I was in there like third day.
Yeah.
So I've been back to Oz since Feb 3 times now.
Right.
And I'll be back there again tomorrow. I'm leaving tomorrow night. So I'll be back there again on Friday and go spend a few days with my family and friends and then head back to the States. But yeah, as much as I can get back there now, I'm like just trying to catch up on lost time, you know?
Yeah. Did you stay much contact with your fam?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean,
like Zoom calls or?
Yeah, it's a lot easier these days, you know, FaceTime and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. But it's still not the same, you know. I want to be home, like watching my niece grow up and all that kind of stuff. So,
how old's your niece?
She's 6 now, I think.
Getting into primary.
She'll get in trouble if she sees this, and she's not. But she's 6.
You're 6 now.
yeah, something like that. But no, mate. I've just been trying to get back there as much as possible. So,
yeah, man.
It's good.
How did you find? Like you've been playing, mate. I've been watching you on socials, right? This is all we got, right?
Yeah.
Checking in on the socials to see how our mates are doing.
Yeah.
And it's looking good for you.
Yeah.
You love, I can tell you love what you do.
Still loving it. Yeah. Still loving moving around. Like I love being able to do this stuff and I love that my work can still bring me to places like Bali and I can come play tunes and then come surf and spend a week and just hang and see all you guys. Like I got mates all over the world because
of what we do.
Because of what we do, you know, and I was a surfer before that, so that kind of opened the doors for me early, like having friends all over the world. So music, you know, I rock up to places even like South Africa and stuff and do a tour there and see all my mates and shit. It's pretty amazing.
Mate, that would be the dream, to travel the world, surf, write tunes.
Play gigs. Yeah, I'm living it.
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
Wicked, man.
Yeah.
How would you describe... we were just talking earlier. You've been over in the States now. You've pushed the decade. You've gone double digits. You're sitting 12 years-ish.
Yeah. Wow. It's crazy to think about it now. But yeah, I think it's going on 12 years.
It must be because we booked you at one of our biggest parties on the Northern Beaches, which was actually Touch Sensitive was playing that day as well. Northern Beaches house party when it was still you and Fisher.
No way.
Do you remember that at Mona Pub?
Yeah, I do.
That was one of our parties that we
was
put
yours?
on. Yeah, me and Emmanuel and
loose,
Olsen.
eh?
Yeah,
Yeah. Fuck, some of those parties back then were loose.
that was loose.
Was that yours?
Yeah,
Sick.
that was us, man.
So what was your party?
Well, we
brand
had
back
two
then?
brands.
Yeah.
So we still have Escape.
Yep.
Escape was at the Shorey.
Yep.
Right. And then Emmanuel, who was at Soho, he started Escape with myself and Olsen, right,
Yep.
from Fear of Dawn. And now he's with his missus called Double Touch, signed to Lee Burridge's label. So we all kind of had Escape, and then we started this other brand, which was called Northern Beaches House Party.
Sick.
And that was the party that we booked you for.
Yeah, they're fun.
And we fully decked the place out. And I think we had, when Touch Sensitive played Pizza Guy, we had Domino's Pizza walk in on the dance floor and
no way,
and hand out pizzas, and we had, it was good times, man.
We were just talking about Touch Sensitive, eh? We were just about that thing he posted on his Instagram just before, and just jamming on his bass guitar.
Keep this close and sexy, baby.
There's no one like him, mate.
And he's a legend.
Legend.
I think it's so good to see. I just saw Rufus post their DJ sets, and they're getting some DJ gigs because they're probably a little bit too expensive to play live everywhere, right?
Fuck, yeah.
And
get the wallet out.
Get the wallet out, mate. Get the bank out. But it's just good to see Aussies abroad sort of reconnecting and doing their thing and staying true.
Mate.
How would you describe the gig that you just had compared to sort of your what kind of gigs is happening for you over in the States, like parties?
Mate, it really just depends. Like festivals and stuff compared to that, nothing beats Bali.
Yeah.
There's just something about the vibes over here. You can play, like, people are open-minded. You can play all sorts of cool stuff. There's no
pressure.
There's no musical arrogance. Maybe there is.
Yeah.
But I don't feel it like coming from the dance floor.
Yeah.
I felt like the other night was just like I could have played whatever I wanted and they were just like ready for it.
That makes it more fun.
Always.
Yeah.
It just makes it so much easier for me too to just actually like give you something good.
Yeah. Well, they trust you. So they're like, all right, boys, girls, let's go for a ride.
Yep.
So you felt that here?
Yeah. You can get that anywhere, but something about this place, I just love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But in the States, I got tons of stuff coming up over summer, some festivals and full summer tour run. And then, so I'm just using this time to just get some R&R, mate, before I go back there and kick it off.
Wicked, man. What's your schedule sort of looking like on a week to week for summer for you in the States?
First week I get back is 4th of July weekend, so that's
where are
pretty
you playing
hectic.
For that?
I'm going to be playing at home, so I got a festival in LA and then on the 2nd, and then that night I'll punch it down to San Diego and play that night, and then 4th of July, I think I got like 5 gigs that weekend.
Wow.
And then from there, I'm just like everywhere. I think I'm playing a gig in like Albuquerque, Dallas, like all over New York.
And how's the scene over there? Are they like with the music you're playing? I guess you'd call it sort of tech house, if we put a word on it, or house.
House, yeah,
housey, tech house. How are they going with it over there?
They love it.
They're loving it.
They're eating it up. Yeah, I remember when I first moved over there 12 years ago, and we were playing some gigs. I feel like house music just wasn't. I mean, there would definitely have been parties, like some underground parties. I mean, house music came from
Chicago,
but
Detroit,
San Diego, and that, like, there was nothing really going on.
Yeah,
and now it's just absolutely cooking. I reckon San Diego is one of the best places in America for dance music, house music.
What made you pick San Diego to live?
It's the closest thing to home.
Yeah, gotcha.
I reckon. It's kind of like beachy kind of vibes. The climate's pretty good.
Yeah,
people are good. I tried living in LA for a bit, but it wasn't really for me.
Yeah. How so?
Just a bit too hectic, mate. I'm still a little bit of a, I guess you'd say a bit of a, I don't know, slow, like
chiller.
I'm from a slow little town, I guess. But and I'm a bit of a bogan, I don't really get out and dress up and do all that. So I don't know.
You're just you, man.
I'm just me, and LA was just moving too quick for me, I think.
Yeah.
So back to San Diego and going with the flow there.
Any sort of parties or collectives popping up that are doing regular things over in San Diego?
Well, the Desert Hearts guys have
Oh yeah,
come out of there.
Yeah. Is that
Porky? Yeah, Porky and Mikey and Marbs and Lee.
Shout out to Desert Heart.
Yep.
You.
They've been killing it, mate, for years over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a bunch. Fuck, I don't know off the top of my head right now. Oh, there's these other guys, the Yoon crew. They're like this new up and comer. They kind of got a similar vibe to Desert Hearts, and they've been throwing some sick parties, some bush doofs and shit.
Yeah.
And I reckon they've got a big future.
Yeah.
And then I've been
Cut
starting
Snake's called it, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. You got to get me on one of your gigs now, boys. And then I've started doing my own party, which is called Big Bamboo.
Let's talk about Big Bamboo. Give us this background of how that came about from even from the name. It's a sick name, by the way.
Yeah.
So you've started a thing called Big Bamboo.
Big Bamboo is like my record label kind of party brand.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a passion project, really. Like
isn't this all just passion projects?
Yeah. I know, really. I like to keep it that way.
Yeah.
I just kind of, been trying my best to throw as many parties as I can. I've only thrown a few, but they've all been pretty sick.
Yeah.
And
is this in Sandy or around the States?
I did one in Santa Barbara, so mainly East Coast. I've been throwing them out of my old Winnebago. Have you ever seen that thing?
No, I haven't. Man, can you bring that bad boy up.
So
what? So do you drive like you travel in this bad boy?
Yeah, and then we just park it in like a car park and set up sound. Look at the lasers we put on the roof of this thing.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
Wow. If you guys are listening, you can check this out on Big Bamboo Rex, RECS. It looks absolutely. So, okay, you're driving around is this it from inside?
Yep. Yeah, that's from inside.
How's the sound? What sound system are you using for that?
I don't even remember what we had for the last one. I've probably got a photo in there somewhere.
I'm trying to see where the speakers are at because
we just set them up. Oh, what's popping up now?
So did the sound system and everything is all with the Winnebago, and you just open it up?
Wish I had the photo of the sound system we had for the last one. Mate, we just bring in sound wherever we are. We just
so you don't bring
a big rig. I don't bring it myself.
Yeah,
no, we just set it all up just like a party you would for a party beforehand, and have it all planned. And
that's sick.
I just drive the rig there, and it's just like a little novelty stage that we set up, mate. Yeah. People just dance right up against it. It's fun.
Tell us about the Winnebago first, I guess, before we get into Big Bamboo, because that kind of feels like where it started from.
I bought that old thing for Burning Man like 6 years ago, I think.
Wow.
And then I just had so much fun with it. It was like my little.
So you took it to your toy. You took it to your burn.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
were you DJing in it when you're at Burning Man?
No. I hadn't really. I've kitted it out since then. Like during COVID, pretty much spent that year and a half just like gutting it and kitting it out with my mate. I had an Aussie mate over there.
Yeah.
And he was shout out Bussy. He's like a mad woodworker.
Yeah.
And we were just.
Is his name actually Bussy?
Bussy. No, Bussy. That's his nickname. Yes, but okay. Bussy, he's the man.
Yeah.
He actually was a part owner in a bus company too, and that's not even the reason why his name was Bussy.
Wow, it's just meant to be, huh?
Yeah, he's a classic.
So you got the Winnebago. You went for Burning Man.
Yep.
Right.
And then we hung onto it for a bit. It's like our favorite thing. Me and the missus, we'd take it up and down the coast. And
I was going to say, is that why you initially bought it, to just see the States? Travel and surf, or
kinda. I mean, yeah, I guess we're kind of like into camping and all that kind of stuff, Sick. So we bought that we bought it for Burning Man.
Yep.
It was going to be cheaper to just buy one really and hang on to it than it is to rent one for that thing. So
what is it?
It's like an old vintage 85 Winnebago.
Yeah. Literally Winnebago.
Yeah. So it's like almost 40,
36, 37.
37 years old or something.
Yeah.
And then, we had it for a few years, and I started getting an idea, like maybe I could take this thing, and I was actually thinking I wanted to do something like this in it, and get artists in there and like drive around and do some fun stuff. Maybe like production sessions or something inside the RV and with some different artists.
Yeah.
And then my mate was like, let's cut a big hole in the window and maybe you can just drive it around and start throwing parties out of it.
Yeah.
So we did that, and fuck, it's the sickest thing ever. I love it.
And it's still going strong 6 years later.
Yeah, mate. Well, I feel like I've pretty much had to become a mechanic since I've owned it. But
yeah. You know it inside out?
Mate, I don't know what I'm doing, but I just get on YouTube and I'm like, how do I fix this?
Like literally like a mechanical engine thing?
Fully.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I got a bunch of mates that are mechanics, so they taught me through it, but I wouldn't say I'm good at what I do, but I've fixed a couple of things that's still running.
That's hilarious.
You just Jimmy rig it, mate, a couple of zip ties and it should be good.
Yeah. So Bamboo Records or Bamboo Rex, but Bamboo Records, yeah?
Yep, Big Bamboo.
Big Bamboo.
Big Bamboo.
Big Bamboo is your baby.
Yep.
How did that, where did that come about?
I was in Argentina and I was sitting at a little ice cream restaurant.
Yeah.
Ice cream parlor or something.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah, and I was the place was called Bamboo, I think, and it had these giant bamboo things sprouting out the side of it, and I was like, Big Bamboo, fuck, Big Bamboo. I think me and my mate were there, and I was like, that's a sick name for a record label. So yeah, I don't know. That's I guess where the idea came from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And have you started doing releases on there?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
What are you up to, and what was your first one?
Probably been like 10 releases. A few from me, some up and coming guys like Sly Turner and Qualia, and then I've had like Little Fritter on there.
Yeah.
Lebelski.
Yeah. LeBell. Yeah.
Yep. Who's making sick shit at the moment. He's
amazing.
So just like, yeah, some pretty sick artists.
Yeah.
You know, but just my mates as well. Like I'm not trying to be the next Hot Creations. I'm happy to just put out sick records from my mates and just keep it core, I guess.
I think that's what will probably turn you into the next Hot Creations, that attitude. I don't think they thought they were going to be something big.
Nah. Yeah, it always kind of starts that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going in too hot with it. Just like if I hear something that I'm really into that I like playing, I'll happily put it out, you know.
And you're up to what you've released around 10?
10 releases, I think.
Releases, and you kicked it off.
Yep.
Is there like is there a certain sound? How would you describe if
I don't know if there is.
Yeah, cool.
I've kind of put out some like deep house records and I had a breaks record on there. And then like Fritter's ones are pretty like banging.
Yeah.
You know, like pretty kind of heavy, like ravey kind of records. And then and this guy Qualia has put out some kind of pretty deep records, I guess. So I don't think there's any.
You got Lebelski, which is a little bit more
indie, chuggy kind of like. Yeah, I don't know. There's I don't think there's any particular kind of sound. And like if I like it, fuck it, that's good enough for me.
Yeah, and what does if you like it feel like to you? Like what are you looking for in a record when you like it? Because like you said, it's multi-genre, right? It's a feeling, it's a vibe that you're going after.
I guess it's got to be something that I want to listen to more than once, you know?
Yeah, and play.
Yeah, I mean, or just if it's got a good vibe and I want to chuck it on and listen to it, or if it'd sound good by the pool or something, like it doesn't have to be made for the club, you know?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So anyone listening out there that has a goal to be signed to Big Bamboo,
send me some shit.
How can people send you, just on Insta, or how should people send you stuff, by the way?
I mean, just email, I guess, SoundCloud links. I've got Big Bamboo SoundCloud and the demo emails on there.
Yeah.
So
wicked.
Yeah.
Have you got
that's the go.
What's coming out next on the label, or what have you got upcoming for the summer?
It'll be one of my releases. So I've just got sitting on a ton of records, and for me, I just want to pretty much put them out on my label.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's easier.
It's easier. Is it? Explain why it's easier to the people that might not know how hard it is sometimes.
I mean, just since I've had the label, it takes out the whole worrying about someone's going to sign it or what it needs to sound like to be fit a certain label. You can just put out something that you think's cool, and you can do it in the sake of. I put out a record that I wanted to put out. It was called Change Will Come. It was like kind of like a breaky kind of record.
Yeah.
And I think by the time I got that mastered, I'd put that out in 2 weeks and did no promo, and it did pretty well on Spotify, like clicked up over 1 million and stuff. And I was
really?
Like, yeah. And
well done, bro.
For just an little indie label, like it kind of just.
No promo. And it just got organic pickup because of the song.
I guess. So sometimes you can, you don't need a huge label, you know?
Yeah. You
Sometimes you can just put out a cool tune or something and if people are into it, it'll still do some damage.
And the people releasing, let's go back to the tracks that are coming out, what we can expect, but the people that have released on the label, are you building like a bit of a family now? A bit of a crew? Like,
so far, they've just been my friends.
Yeah, so it's already fam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, I'd like to kind of keep it that way unless something comes along like that I'm really into. Like, I'm happy for more people to join it.
Yeah. Yeah. And remixes and stuff like that? Or is it more singles of the artists?
Had a date, Dateless.
I've heard of Dateless.
He makes some pretty sick, like percussive stuff out of.
Where's he from?
I think like Newport or like Orange County kind of area.
American. Yeah.
He's put out stuff on like Hot Creations and a few big labels, but he did a remix for the Fritter record and kind of just whatever I can like line up, you know what I mean, without having to put in too much effort.
Yeah. So you're like, man, there's a bit of
because I'd like to do like it's also an artistic outlet for me I do all the artwork for my label too. So
let me just keep talking. I'm going to have a look at your artwork.
Yeah, so that's kind of, I guess that's what makes it for me, my little baby. You know, like I get to also have a say in like. Well, actually, the first two releases was Lee Wilson.
Okay,
you know Lee from here in Bali.
Lee Wilson. What's his? Is that his artist name?
No. Just Lee Wilson, the artist, the surfer.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. With the artworks,
you would know Lee, wouldn't you? The surfer.
Yeah. This stuff here.
He did that one. Yeah.
Wow. And
that was the first release. Here. Yeah.
Sick.
He's Balinese guy. Sick artist.
Man. So and is he going to be doing all the art?
Nah.
Okay.
So I like to. I'd like to get him on a few more, but he's busy, and for me, it was kind of nice to just have a crack at it myself. I did that one.
You actually did that?
Yeah.
Like, what's that? Is that you? Is that green texture? Or
is that? I do it all on like a program on an iPad called Procreate, and just draw it with like the pen and
that's sick.
Get it in Photoshop and
Freedom is at the rave.
Yeah.
Little Fritter.
Yeah. That's a heater, that one.
Art by Cut Snake.
Yeah.
Mate, you're just primed for this new NFT movement. You have no idea.
Yeah, tell me about it, mate. So I don't really know too much about it. I know that it's like digital ownership or something like that, but you're going to have to feed it to me.
Mate, I'm going to feed it to you and the penny's going to drop and you're going to go, holy shit. Everything that you just said about why you're doing Big Bamboo, label, friends. One of the things I was going to touch on before we get into this is you just do what is easy, like path of least resistance. You know what I mean? Just be like, it's more flowy that way.
For sure, mate.
Less stressy.
That's what I said. Like sometimes it's just for me, whatever. I don't have to stress out too much about. I can just do it, within 2 weeks. If I can put out a record and just have something out new for people to hear, like that's sick.
Yeah.
I'm happy.
And like, I don't
have to wait 3 or 4 months to get a spot on a label or something for some new stuff to come out.
I was just going to touch on that. How different is the vibe when you start trying to write for someone else's label? For me personally, it kills my vibe because you're over comparing to that sound where how much, like you might have a different process, but for me, I just love writing and then once that's finished, that might go for that label instead of trying to think about it during.
I think you're better off doing that, just writing music and then finding a label that it suits. But even then, you can write a sick record and then send it out to 5 labels that you think it might suit.
Yeah.
And they might not be into it. And then you're over it.
You're over it.
So when that happens a couple of times, you just say, fuck it, put it out yourself.
How many, what's the breaks
Unless
record?
you got an absolute bad boy record, then maybe find something, that's going to give it some promo and really give it a push.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's
then you've got, what's that, what was the breaks record called? The one that did
Change Will Come.
So Change Will Come, right?
Yeah.
Clocked 1 million Spotify. Loved it, enjoyed it, turned it around in 2 weeks, got it out there.
Yeah, that's the whole point of my story was it was just like something that I'd been sitting on for a while, and I was like, I may as well just put this out. It's a cool record. And within 2 weeks, it was just, I just put it on to my like label distribution and put it out, and the Instagram post, and people sort of, it got a few Spotify playlists from that, and was, I guess, and it just started doing the rounds and clicked up some plays, and was a pretty successful song for my little label, you know?
Yeah, that's huge, man. And that's Spotify.
So it can happen, yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't really, I wouldn't say it was like the most played DJ record.
Yeah.
But it was a good record for people to listen to and still hit pretty hard, you know?
Yeah. You're basically the perfect type of person for Crate. You're not too fussed about the promotion side of things. You just want to release music, and you love writing music, and you love playing, right? And you're all about your crew, right? Which is just doing all this with mates, and vibing off each other. So Crate is basically Bandcamp meets Beatport, right? But we release music as NFTs. And so what is an NFT in the context of what we do, music, right? We're only interested in downloads, right? Not streaming, because Crate is for DJs, artists and DJs.
Okay.
That's the two people that we look after.
Is there a limit on the amount of like tunes that you will sell then if someone owns it?
So the whole idea right now, right, when you release a track, it's unlimited digitally. So there's no value, right? Like
disposable.
It's completely
come and go so quick.
From the jump, right? As soon as you release that track in a context where it's unlimited, you've lost so much value on your own track, because everyone goes, oh, they're unlimited copies.
And I can get it whenever I want.
And there's something to be said about when you have a track that nobody else can get. Or there's only a few people
definitely
that have it.
Or like there's limited vinyl records, 200 presses only.
Yeah.
Like people are
a lot of the test presses
out there sniffing for those things, to get their hands on them.
Yeah, we should start a label, a record label called Sniff.
Sniff.
That would be funny.
I think people would think it's something else though.
Well, I mean, yeah. Sniffing for music.
Yeah.
Shout out to anyone that actually does start a label called Sniff, or if one exists. So basically what you would do, you get the flexibility of uploading music yourself. We check it, make sure it doesn't already exist, and that it's your track. Like that it's like one of the, it's like for you, if it's you, Cut Snake, it's your track, or B, if it's one of your artists, making sure. Otherwise people will just upload anything. So Crate's like a user invite community. Picture us as a vinyl store, a record store, plus a vinyl press, plus a label at the start. But then once we get our users, because we're building our community, like we're going to be bringing people like yourself who are going to be trying us out with some of your tracks. Like how many tracks do you write a year, give or take?
Mate, I write tons of music. I just
ballpark me.
Wish I put out a lot more. You know what I mean?
Which is why you've got Big Bamboo,
and I
right?
think it is. But my biggest issue for the last 10 years has just been like, they just pile up. I just don't have it in me where I send it out to all the labels and all that kind of stuff.
It sucks, man.
Which is a bummer because I could be putting out a lot more music. You know what I mean? I just fuck it, I'll just write another one.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird. Like, I'm the same, man. Like, I write a lot, probably not as much as you, but definitely a lot. Couple of tracks a month.
For sure. Some weeks I can smash out 5 records.
Yeah.
And they might not all be good, but sometimes, and then, sometimes 3 a day, or sometimes it'll take me a month to get something half decent out. But that's art,
What's your process, man, when you're making tunes? How does it start from idea to getting it down?
Well, I kind of change my process all the time. I don't really know. Sometimes I just open up and
what DAW are you using?
Ableton.
Yeah, same.
I originally was using Logic back in the day, and then I just found Ableton to be so much quicker, But I don't really have a process. Like some days I'll go in and I'll just layer up a bunch of drums and try and get a bass line or a melody going, and and then leave it for a week, or some days it might take an hour and they'll just be flow and I'll just have a whole tune written, you know?
Yeah.
Um,
Does that explain what that feels like when you're in flow?
Oh yeah, that's the best.
Like does you feel like when you're in flow that you always know what to do next?
Yeah. It's just happening. Yeah. And before you know it, you've got a whole tune written, you know?
Yeah.
It's pretty nice. It's a great feeling.
Yeah,
and you're like, whoa, that just kind of came out of me.
Do you feel a little bit like when it flows really well, do you feel that sometimes like that was too easy? You know, that was like, you know,
but the best, sometimes the best music is when it sounds like it was made too easy. You know, simple records are always the ones that people can latch onto really well.
What do you reckon that is? Yeah. I
don't know. I mean, our brains aren't probably supposed to take on too much with music.
Yeah. I think in clubs too, simple tracks sound fat.
Simple tracks always sound big in clubs and that, but also like definitely trippy psychedelic tunes and stuff are also
wicked.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean,
there's something sophisticated about having the balls to release something simple and then backing yourself, and then everyone else backs it because they get it. You know.
I remember reading an interview with Dusky back in the day, and they sat on that Careless record for ages, and they didn't want to put it out because they thought it just sounded too like simple and not creative enough.
Mate, that's still getting rinsed at the gym I go to.
But that tune was huge. Like it was #1 Beatport record. Like it was really, and it sounds cool to me. Like I love that record.
Yeah, I used to rinse that.
Just strip back. It's all about that bass line, you know?
Yeah, and that vocal
hook. The vocal hook on top. But I remember them, and then I think their agent or something was like, nah, get it out. And sure enough, it was probably, I don't know if it was their breakthrough record, but it was definitely.
It was around the time they broke through, yeah.
Put them on the map, you know, I guess.
It's sometimes like Andy Warhol.
And then they backed it up.
They did.
Yeah, with a ton of shit.
Yeah. Trying to think of
heaps of stuff.
Yeah.
I know the one you're talking about.
The Andy Warhol says art is what you can get away with. And I think that ties into simplicity. How many times have you gone, wow, you know?
For sure.
People eating it up. And I think we overcomplicate things because we're trying to show, we're trying to show that we know more maybe than, or that, you know, we're better than something simple, but doing something simple is hard. It's actually not easy.
That's the thing. Like you can try and make something simple. People might think it's simple, but it's so hard to make a good record that is super simple.
Yeah.
Like, and something like, for example, say a Rothko, someone will look at it on the wall and be like, what is it? Just like 2 colors or something?
Yeah, yeah.
But if you ever see one in real life, you're like, fuck, that is like so crazy and hard like to do and make it look that beautiful.
And honest, authentic.
But so many people will be like, simple, like I could probably do it, give me a few colors and
yeah. They don't get it.
They don't get it, but it's the same with music, I think.
Yeah.
You know?
Very philosophical, bruv. Very philosophical.
Let's get a beer in me, mate.
Do you want another one? Would you like another one?
Yeah, maybe one more.
Get you one more, bro.
It's easy to go.
Yeah, man. Let's go back to Crate. I want to explain to you how we're going to change our world.
Yeah.
And our world is people like yourself and me, electronic music producers and DJs. There's two things to this, man. During the pandemic, we saw one big, massive thing, and all the DJs lost their work straight away, instantly. I remember getting the call up from like Single Fin and CPs, and it's like, next week, that's it.
Yeah.
You know, and something that's really scary is there's so much talent out there with DJing, right? And it brings people so much joy. And there's so much about looking for music and discovering those artists, right? Yep. And the whole system's been fucked, right, at the moment, because you could spend 3-4 hours digging for a track, right? And there's so much music out there. And we're talking digging digitally. We're not even talking crate digging for records. Right now we're just talking about digital files. And let's say you spend 3-4 hours looking for a track, right?
A lot of shit to dig through.
Yeah. Promos, your various places, friends, unreleased stuff, whatever, right? And you probably don't even have much time to dig. So you're sort of skimming through the track, right? It's like that skipping, you know, through the track and not able to sort of really digest it and let it sort of grab you. And the biggest thing that I think is unfair are those people that do dig, and it's an art form. And then let's say they've been spending 3-4 hours looking for tracks for the weekend and they play them and then someone Shazams it, which is fine. That's Shazam's sick, right? And someone Shazams it and then buys it for $2 on Beatport, right? The person that spent 3-4 hours looking for that, but then the kid that whoever is Shazammed it, you know, gets it straight away. And what happens if that guy's got more Instagram followers and he plays the track?
Oh yeah,
right?
And then it blows up. Like,
and then it blows up.
This is the Mad Dog that found this tune.
You know, and I'm a firm believer, and what we believe at Crate is we want producers to make money off their music, not off their gigs. Make your money off your gigs, but we want to be able to create a way that you guys can actually make money off your music sales.
Yeah.
Not streams. Streams are something separate. Doesn't pay much, but that's like, I see that as like the radio.
Yeah.
You know, streaming's more for like the people that just want to listen to you here and there. Your music's more for the DJs.
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
The downloads.
Yep.
And at Crate, our mission, and we're not going to stop until we do this. And this is what NFTs are allowing us to do, is you'll be able to now create limited runs of your digital files, because now the NFT will be like, that is one of 10. That's track one. Sorry, that's one copy of 10 Cut Snake singles, right?
And you can also pair that together with artwork too, right? Limited artwork and stuff like that.
Check this out, right? You could, thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
Cheers, bro.
Ride that scooter back. So this is my last one, I think.
Right, mate. I'll hold you to that. Mate, we're just getting warmed up. It's wicked. So you can pair that with artwork.
Yeah.
But not only that, I hate promotion. I hate self-promoting. If you write a record that I love and I'm rinsing, I'm the first one on Instagram to like be all over it. But when it's my own music, it's really strange to go, hey.
I've always struggled with that a bit too. I've actually struggled with that a lot.
Yeah.
Like
it's
pushing
weird.
my own stuff. And I remember my managers are like, well, this is your brand. Like, if you're not going to push it, who is?
It's not like that though. It's not like.
And I'm like, I fucking hate looking at myself.
Yeah.
But you got to do it. But
how do you find balance in self-promotion? Like, where do you draw the line? Like, do you see stuff that's cringe when people are sort of self-promoting? And do you what's
see
your
stuff that's repetitive?
Yeah, such as
just I don't know, like just every Monday morning I wake up and see 100 DJs just with the behind the DJ kind of post of whatever, and it's people eat it up like it's sick, but fuck, I just scroll past it, mate. It's just too much for me.
Yeah.
But Instagram in general is a bit too much for me. Like I like it. It's fun to get on there and take the piss and have fun on the stories and shit. But like thinking about what I have to post and that becomes a head fuck sometimes.
I go into meltdown when I get like, I get anxiety straight up thinking about needing to promote something on Instagram.
Yeah, for sure. I think everyone does. It's fucked. There's been a bunch of people actually recently that are just like, I need to take a break, that I've seen that are just like, it's too much.
It's not sustainable, man. And it puts you in a weird place because you start.
Especially as an artist, you start comparing yourself to others, which is the worst for creativity. Like as soon as you start comparing yourself to others, it's like.
Where's the fun in the art is if you start comparing.
Yeah.
Art's supposed to be like inspiring.
Someone posted something the other day.
Share it, man. Share it.
Tasha. I don't know how to say her name, but she's put out stuff on some pretty cool labels like Ninja Tune and stuff. She posted something pretty, she didn't realize that when she was playing one of the festivals, Ava Festival, that it was going to be a boiler room.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Until she turned up.
Yeah. So she's turning up to a boiler room gig.
Yeah, which is kind of a different thing in itself. Like you're gonna have millions of people
That's
like
a
staring at
curation.
something that you and all they do is pick you apart.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
And then she goes,
critic room.
I found out. Wait, I got an offer for Ava. I didn't realize it was for Boiler Room. I found out much later, as I don't feel good about live streams after what happened at Mixlab. I'm not sure what happened there, but not sure I'll ever do a live stream again. And as dramatic as it sounds, I've been contemplating whether I want to DJ anymore at all. I'm struggling with the ups and downs, comparing myself to others and just not feeling good enough ever, no matter what I do. And then this is a good point right here. Comparison is the thief of joy and social media is the icing on the cake. Going to take a break from it for a bit. If you want to stream the set, links in the story. But
what's the artist's name?
Comparison is the thief of joy. That was something that I kind of...
Comparison is the thief of joy.
Thief of joy.
It really is.
Like going on Instagram and just looking at other people and just thinking, oh, fuck, maybe I'm not that good or something like that. It's all bullshit.
Have you ever had that thought ever where you just think to yourself, why am I doing this? Does that ever creep in there sometimes?
Mate, every artist does.
Yeah, it does.
Definitely. Yeah. Like, I don't think there is an artist out there that's not just, that is fully gung-ho all the time. Like, I'm the man. Maybe there is.
Yeah, I think there's a few out there, bros.
But it might also be a show, I think, behind closed doors. There's definitely like a head fucked moment where they're just like, you know, it's kind of it's a part of the game.
Yeah.
There's a lot of ups and downs.
There is. And so, like, during the pandemic, I got to think a lot about that, a lot about the DJs that have lost their work.
Yep.
Obviously, a lot about the artists. And I got to reach out and spend more time on WhatsApp calls with my friends overseas and just check in.
Yeah.
You know, because I'm fucking cooped up in a little studio apartment in Cotabacan, isolated, not knowing if, like, you know, the world's going to end, right?
Yeah.
And one of the things with Crate is this shit's got to change, man. Like, we believe that hustle less, create more.
Yeah.
Because if you do what you're happy with, you're going to do more of it. And if you don't have to worry about the shit that you actually don't enjoy doing and you're not good at, and let something else take over that. And to us, we feel that's the DJs or the collectors.
Yep.
They're the ones that break the tracks through. And it's easy for me to say this because in the underground, you know, artists are, you know, DJs are always looking, whether that DJ is a producer or just a DJ, anyone who DJs is always looking for the next artist, right? They're not looking for artists necessarily that they know. They're trying to dig for
you always want to find something that no one else has or that's playing right now, you know? That's kind of that's going to make people think, fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we believe that music should do the talking. And I forgot the break's name. What's the breaks track called again?
Change Will Come.
Change will come. And mate, it's coming, right? Change will come. And
I actually wrote that during COVID because we were all sitting around doing nothing.
How was
That's why I called it that.
How was it when the Trump was in and all that sort of stuff over there? Was it a scary time?
I don't know. It was just, I'm definitely like in California, there's kind of where I live, it's pretty kind of liberal kind of.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of mates that I hang out with definitely are, you know. But so there was definitely like that negative kind of like fuck Trump kind of shit. But I don't know. It's just
you're here, you're in one piece, man. And you're writing
exactly
records,
right.
So you survived, brother.
For sure.
I'm glad to hear it. And so back with Crate, right? We believe that music should do the talking. Well, how does that work? Well, now, like, what's your next track coming up? What's it called?
Oh my God.
Or any track that you got in the pipeline.
Wait. Oh my God. Move Me.
Okay.
Move Me is my next EP. And how's that? I'm just like, whoa, what is it?
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about Trump.
Too much sun out here, mate. I know, yeah, Trump. Fuck
mate,
Trump.
That's the last one, bro. Beer too.
Yeah. Move Me. I actually played it up up at the hill the other night and it went off. So I was kind of pretty pumped.
So we'll talk about the track after I just give you this little spiel. So
I want to learn.
Let's say you do 100 copies of Move Me.
Yeah.
Straight up, 100 copies is pretty cool, right? Because everyone that buys one of those has one of the 100.
Yeah.
Right? Let's say you sell out. So you've sold your 100.
Yeah.
Right? You've done a bare minimum. You've done a little post on Insta, new track coming out.
Mm-hmm.
And let's say, I mean, you're a pretty popular guy. You've got like easy, let's say there's 300 people that want to buy your next track anyway, and you've only done 100 copies. So it sells out within hours.
Yep.
Right? You just do a little Insta post. I believe that people should be, social media should work for us, not us working for it.
For sure.
That's a big one that we believe, and that's what we're trying to do with Crate. And so you post, moving me, sells out. Okay, 100 copies out. There's 100 DJs out there that have the track. Actually, there's probably about 80 because you gave 20 for free to some of your mates, your close mates, right?
Cool.
Because that's what we do.
Yep.
So you gave 20 of the NFTs for free. Now, if I'm a DJ and I want to get that track, how do I get it? Well, I have to buy it off one of the other DJs.
Yeah.
Right?
So, and then they can start changing the price to whatever the demand is, right?
So if I'm a bit of a digger, I'm going to be, if
kind of like a rare vinyl.
It's like a rare vinyl, man.
Yeah.
It's digital vinyl, bro.
Yeah.
And
does the artist then, so say,
move me,
sells from one guy that owns it to another guy, what kind of a royalty does the artist get from that the second time around?
It's so epic. So you get to set that at the start. So when you mint, right, when you mint the track, you set your own royalty rate, which cannot be changed.
Yeah.
So an artist artists can do whatever they want. That's another cool thing. You know, if we're making the record, we should be able to decide how we want to do things, not be told how we should be doing shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the whole reason we make music, is to do something that not to be told what to do.
Yeah.
That we just vibe.
Yeah.
Something authentic.
Yeah.
How much would it suck to be, write a song and being told how to write it? That's not really why we're doing this.
Yeah. I mean, it's also kind of, that's for dance music, it's kind of just impossible.
Yeah.
Just like, all right, well, you want to just put me in that, pigeonhole me into that,
Yeah. And that's again why, we're going to see a lot of big bamboo record type labels prosper and grow and explode onto the scene. And this is what this created. It's happening. Man. It's happening.
Tons of crew are just like self-releasing because of the fact that it's just such an effort, like sending out to labels, and you might not even hear back most of the time,
Yeah. And I think, right, you get to set the royalty rate. So you might set 10% or 20%.
Yep.
You probably want to give as small as royalty as possible, so whoever owns the record makes most of the commission, right? So you might do it, right, with Moving Me, I'm going to do 10%. Now, that track's moving around.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
There's now 300 DJs that have
had
the track.
Their hands on it.
And when someone buys the track, they're able to make a copy for themselves so they can keep playing it.
Oh, they can.
Yeah.
So it can multiply.
It kind of multiplies, but the only ever in circulation.
Well, I guess it does, right? Because they still must be able to download it as like an MP3
so
or
we
a
figured,
WAV file.
figured with Crate, because it's exclusive. When you release with us, it'll be exclusive, right?
Yeah.
That track.
Yep.
And what's the best thing for the artist? Well, every DJ still playing the track is a good thing. So the guy that got the track first, and let's say you sold those first 100 for $2.
Yeah.
Sells out straight away.
Yeah.
And let's say DJs want music that other DJs don't have. So if I'm wanting to, if I'm going to sell this record and I was the first to have Moving Me, then I want it to be worth my while and make a couple of bucks out of it so I can buy more music.
Yeah.
Right? So now you're not dealing with any of this shit.
Mm.
The DJs are the ones that are breaking it through and trading it amongst themselves. Like imagine you seeing your mate, imagine seeing Wongo play this slammer and you saw the crowd and you went, fuck me, I want that. I want that.
Yeah, you got to hunt it down.
He goes, man, there's only 5 copies.
Yeah.
I've got one. You can buy it off me for $10. You'd be like, done.
Yeah.
Because you're now one of 6.
And then he still has it though, right?
He still has it, but he can't sell it because he's already sold you the NFT.
Uh-huh.
So it's like
it kind of gets rarer and rarer too.
Well,
in a way, if you can't hunt down who has it, or you'll be able to find out who has it because it's all digitally traceable, right?
You can see every single owner of the record,
gotcha.
Right? So you can see hang on, Jamie Jones is on this track.
Yeah.
If he's playing it, that means the value is going to go up.
Yeah.
Right? So you can see stuff like that. You can go, oh, I'm the only guy in San Diego that has his track. I'm going to keep rinsing it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's cool.
And you can see who else has had this track before you.
Yeah.
And the thing is, at the start, it's going to kind of double. People are going to be, if they buy it for $2, they'll probably sell it for $4. Now, let's say I'm the digger, right? And I've just bought 50 tunes for $2.
Yeah.
And then 2 weeks later, all the music I'm sitting on's doubled in value. I'm now making money digging for music.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's cool.
That guy's getting paid. And
Yeah.
he's going to be that legend that's like one of your first. It's like music promo, but more effective.
Yeah.
Because he's going to be the first guy. And so now you're going to have crew coming to you going, Lee, when's your next track? So even before, right, even before you're kind of have to do that post on Instagram, you've already going to have your tight guys that will jump on it.
Yep.
And you're going to reward them because like, here you go, fellas, because you guys have been supporting me from the start. I'm going to give you all these tracks for $2 or whatever, sell out, and then it's going to do the rest.
Is there a way for people that have purchased your tunes in the past or whatever to have like a database of that you could possibly reward by dropping free tunes to?
Yeah, you can do all of that, man.
You know, I think that's
you can do,
a pretty cool
You can
thing.
do that. You can also do something where people pay $5 a month to subscribe to you.
Yeah.
And they're the first people to get the opportunity to buy.
Yeah.
Right? Access.
Yep.
You know, that's like, imagine if you had 1,000 fans, right, that are true, that will literally buy any track that you've got.
Yeah.
Right? Because they're your fan, right? And so every time you're releasing a track for $2-3 and you're making $3,000 a release, which is pretty fucking hard on Beatport.
For sure.
You know? And $3,000 is
probably put you in the top 10, mate.
Yeah.
For sure.
And all that's bullshit, right?
Yeah.
And like $3,000 probably around about 1 million streams on Spotify.
Yeah.
Right. But you're already making that because you've got you guys that want to buy it early.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we're doing, man.
Yeah.
That's great. And we're starting.
And also some tunes like it takes a DJ to play it for it to get like even down the track to get like a second wind, you know?
It takes time, man.
Yeah,
like,
sometimes.
This whole 6 week for a release to come out it only benefits like labels and stuff that have that mindset, but that's not how music spreads. How many times have you listened to a track and gone, that's fresh, only to find out it's fucking 10 years old?
For sure. Yeah.
But because it's the first
I find
time.
more shit that sounds fresh now from back in the day than some of the new shit because it just feels like there's so much recycled
stuff.
And everyone's trying to, like, so many people are trying to just make a hit.
Yeah.
Instead of just make something weird or cool.
Make something that's authentic.
Yeah.
Like, you can feel in a track if it's trying to be something it's not.
For sure.
You know, you can just feel it.
Yeah.
You know, and you want to feel the person having fun.
For sure.
In the track. You oh man, this guy's fucking vibing it.
And also got the balls to just put out something that sounds fucking different.
Yeah.
You know?
Give me an example of, wait, before you give me an example.
Are you going to put me on the spot?
Yes. So any more questions about what we're doing with Crate? With the NFTs?
I love it. I kind of like had a little bit of a grasp on the NFT world, but I like it being used in music, like ticket sales too, right?
Yeah, tickets. Yeah,
everything. I've heard a few festivals talking about using them for ticket sales, so that
stops the scalping as well. It'll sort of take out scalping because you can sort of see if things are legit or not, right? Or sorry, not scalping, but fake tickets.
There'll be like a digital record of where it's gone, right?
That's what an NFT is. It gets punched onto the database, right? Which you can't fudge that.
And will Crate be on, is Crate launched?
Not yet. Right now, we're building our community.
Yep.
So that's why we're running this podcast so we can connect. Because I don't get to see you guys anymore because I'm busy building this. We don't get to catch up in like after the gig.
Yeah.
You know? So this is my way of catching up with you and inviting you.
It's a good way to get it in my ear because I had no idea.
Yeah. And so what we would want from you is just a track.
Yeah, sick.
And because you're actually a producer, writing tracks is pretty simple for you.
Yeah.
You know? And we're not after everybody's best track.
Music.
Yeah.
I'd love to give you some stuff.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about that after the show.
Yeah, for sure.
And we'll get you involved. So what were we talking about with
will that be on like what currency will people use for that?
The buying and selling would just be normal. Like you can even buy with like credit card.
Really?
Yeah.
So it won't be like Ethereum or something like that?
No.
Ah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. Otherwise it gets a bit tricky with price velocity because what happens if the prices are fluctuating?
Which happens pretty gnarly.
Yeah. So probably be pegged on a stable coin.
Yeah, okay. So it'll still be stable coins.
Yeah,
so
but you'll be able to
like a US dollar kind of thing or something.
Yeah, and we'll have a thing called a fiat on ramp, meaning you can use Visa, MasterCard.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Sick.
because the last thing you want is when you're posting a release and your mate's like, "What the fuck's this crypto shit?"
Yeah.
Got no idea. Is this a scam?
Fully.
You know what I mean?
Fully.
And
And there's still like, there's still a long way to go before that sort of stigma passes.
I think so, because there's still a lot of people doing a lot of shady things, and that adds a lot of interference in our industry because the actual tech does a lot of good.
Yeah,
you
for
know?
sure. I mean, it was
And
created for a good reason, maybe.
It's created. It's what it means is that you don't need
Silk Road.
what it means. That's part of it. Like in terms of like staying anonymous, that's one use case. But what it means is essentially you don't need to trust the other person you're doing business with, right?
Yeah.
Because the trust is
in the contract.
Is in the contract.
Yeah.
So let's go back to your track "Moving Me" that you put on Crate, hypothetically, and the royalties, right? That's in there.
Yeah.
So whenever someone buys that track, right, or whenever the DJs are trading it amongst themselves, every time there's a transaction, you're getting paid instantly.
That's cool.
There's no, oh, hang on, what's this recoup? There's no like, none of that shit. The money goes straight into
you're getting
your wallet.
The exact rate that you set at the start
At the start.
You're not getting it's not getting split up between.
Imagine if your track gets up to $20.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I think the way this is going to work is quite
some of those rare vinyls, mate. They're going for like $1,000.
Well, wait to see when we launch stems.
Oh yeah, cool.
Right. So when you're doing releases and we've launched I also think that the cover art is going to be a big thing because there's so many designers or illustrators or people that just enjoy it that don't want to do other graphic design or illustration. They just love making cover art.
Yeah.
And these people would want to be on Crate, and they're either going to have work that you could buy straight away.
And can you split?
Yes.
You can split that, right? You can choose to split 10% with the artist, 10% with the musician.
Now I can see that penny dropping, bros.
Yeah. I love it.
And
I
then
love that, mate. It definitely needs to change, I think. Half the money, like, I mean, obviously with Spotify, like, I don't think I know an artist that's super pumped on like how they get paid through that shit.
It's
no one even knows, what the actual royalty rate is.
It's all smoke and mirrors.
Because it's that many zeros behind the decimal point that no one even knows.
Yeah, it's tricky, man. And imagine like as soon as there's a transaction getting paid, right?
Yeah.
And imagine now that, right, you're quite prolific in the fact that you can get records from A to B, start to finish. And then imagine if your engineer, the guy that mixes your record, or a guy that just wants to start mixing your records, full mix downs, mastering, artwork, and no one wants any money down. They just want 1 or 2%. You'd be like,
and you can start just sharing that out as you submit the record. I love that.
Right. So then you start building your little collective.
Yeah.
And same with remixes.
For
right.
Sure.
I think remixes need to change from, sort of being a session fee to giving some points to people that do the remixes.
Yeah.
And now we can do that. And there's no ambiguity, right?
Yeah.
Because it's just there. And you know what else is going to happen? When people do, that bullshit that you were talking about with the hassle of trying to write all these emails to labels and then being in limbo and then actually getting interest from a label, but then it's been too long and you've lost vibe on the track and then they've sort of dicked you around. You're good.
I just don't know how to. Here we go.
And so, like, imagine having a system within like Crate where you've just finished a record, you put up a preview of it, and you let labels bid on it.
Yeah, that's cool.
Open bidding. None of this smoke and mirrors. Like, so
as a part of Crate, so there's going to be still like that label aspect.
Labels for us are huge. We're going to start with people like yourself, so the producer and the DJ, just to get things going.
Yep.
Right?
Oh my God, sorry.
You're right, man. Do you need to take that?
I don't.
We can pause the show.
It's just
it's not live.
It's all good, mate. I'll just put it on mute and we're fucking on.
So with the label, right, we would love eventually to get Big Bamboo Records on there, because labels to me, man, like the labels that you're talking about and the labels that I'm signed with and the indie ones, it's a family, man.
For sure.
You get to meet crew. You get to collab with other artists.
For sure. And I want people that are on my label to be playing my parties and shit like that.
Yeah.
You know, same as a bunch of the others. But
yeah,
definitely. I had a question there, but
with labels or with royalty splits.
and then, I mean, is it only going to be exclusive? It kind of has to be, right?
At the start, it kind of has to be, because if your track's selling on Beatport for $2 and it's got unlimited copies, it's going to devalue your own track. But I think what's going to happen, right? There's this kind of mindset that you need to be the biggest market in the world. You need to have every producer. You don't. You just need to have a reputation for having a whole lot of artists that are releasing good shit.
Yeah.
And DJs will come, right?
What about the people? I do know that there is a lot of people that like to stream dance music. Like in America, I go to like house parties and stuff, and people just stream it. Like they love it.
Yeah.
You know, like chicks and stuff that whatever, they just want to play their party with their girls, but they don't want to DJ it. Do they have to buy it to play it?
With us at the start, we'll actually be getting you on to Spotify as well as an on service.
So there will be like a stream,
like add-on.
It could be a great partnership, you know?
Yeah. And I think there's no plans for us to sort of build our own streaming at this stage. Yeah. We just want to get the artists and the DJ aspect of that down pat, right? Yep. Because to us, that's the most important people that we need to look after and support. Then we can start expanding into like streaming. Because what actually is going to happen is, let's say you bought 10, 12 records from Crate, right? And you played only those records in a mix, you would then be able to sell the performance, right? And that's a way.
Okay, cool.
That's a way to like market the songs that you're actually holding as well.
Yeah.
You know? So it can get really creative, because we'll see a lot of DJs putting a lot of effort into their mixes, especially if they've got access to stems that's from the platform. So that they might be having 2 decks going and a vocal of another, but they actually own all of those tracks.
So when you purchase a tune from Crate, you actually have the right to like sell it, I guess. If
that's what you buy.
I guess, yeah. Or you're telling me, but like if you do it in a DJ set or something and you put it on YouTube, you have the rights to that song? Is that what you're kind of saying?
It's like, if you wouldn't like, so the recording of it, you would put up on Crate.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like under your profile.
Yeah.
And we wouldn't do that until we had enough music on the platform.
Yeah.
Because if there's only like 1 or 2 tracks that you're playing in your set at the state, you can't really sell it because it gets too complicated.
Complicated, yeah.
Right? It has to be everything that's purchased from Crate.
Crate, yeah.
And so I think DJs, what they're going to do is they're going to start putting a lot more effort into mixes, like what some of the OGs used to do, get really creative, because DJs will use stems different to how producers use them. Yeah. And with stems, when you're uploading a stem, you're giving people permission to use it in their track.
Yeah.
So you'll probably charge a little bit more. If you got a killer vocal, you'll probably sell that for $50.
Yeah.
Right?
Just, yeah.
Right? And then someone buys that for $50. They don't need clearance, because that's a big issue. For
sure,
right?
Yeah.
That doesn't work. The way the system's set up doesn't work for our world.
The only thing is you got to be careful with is when artists are selling stems that haven't fully cleared it already.
Yeah, but that's not, if they haven't cleared it, then they'll have to go through a DMCA thing where someone goes, hang on, that's not yours. And they have to basically say that this is mine.
Yeah,
for sure. And it probably gets a little bit murky.
Which
when it's like
happens already.
Yeah.
When it's not.
Yeah. Fully.
But yeah.
Back to the music side, man, and talking about the self-promotion. Are you happy with the way the industry is at the moment, with like, given where you're at with it?
I'm happy that I can still do it and get paid for it, Like I'm not going to take the piss out of it too much, because I'm lucky enough to still be doing it and making money from it.
Yeah.
I think the social media aspect is the toughest thing on artists, that self-promotion wise.
Was it different when Cut Snake was back in its, I think this is going back 10 years ago, when it was you and Fisher, and it sort of looked like he was strong front man?
Probably a little bit.
You got someone to jam and vibe off as well?
Yeah. Oh, you mean like what, DJing wise or?
Yeah, like DJing and also like having more support on the kind of the social media side, you know, because when you got two people working toward, like when I was in a duo with Olsen, you know, he would spend a lot of the time writing the music, right? And I would be like trying to build as many relationships or focus more on our socials.
For sure.
I mean,
every duo has its like, you know, there's someone has their strong points, you know?
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, probably back then there was definitely less pressure on me, like with certain things like social media and shit.
Yeah. How did you guys get started? Out of curiosity.
Mate, we moved to San Diego for surfing originally.
Really?
Yeah. 13 years ago, oh, probably longer. Yeah, 13 years ago, I think.
Yeah.
And yeah, our sponsor at the time was Reef, and we were based out of San Diego, and we just we lived together, so we had a
lot of time together.
Yeah, a lot of time together, and both of us had like these old CDJ 1000s, and we just
no way, Mark IIs,
pretty much put together whatever we wanted to keep between us, and just jammed in the house, and started playing a few gigs over there, and that kind of started from there, and just that's pretty much how it started. Started musically.
Yeah.
But it all kind of we moved over to the States for surfing. That's what it was. It was all surfing originally.
Yeah. And do you guys still keep in touch a lot, or
not so much now?
Yeah.
But
busy.
Mate, he's the fucking biggest DJ in the world right now.
Yeah. It's like insane, huh?
It's crazy.
It's like, and from your perspective, did that go up? Did that happen quick? It seems like lightning speed, how quick something like that can pop off.
Mate, yeah. I mean, probably felt quicker for him.
Yeah, probably.
You know?
Yeah.
Trying to deal with something like that, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's a bit daunting.
For sure.
Know, because it's like, you know, sometimes it gets a little bit less about the music then and about all these other elements that, you know, for me make me feel more uncomfortable.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to speak for him on that, but
yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Fuck, I mean, when you're a superstar at that caliber, you kind of got to be careful with everything.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you lose that.
You're taking on a whole different element of what it is to be an artist.
Yeah.
Like from being an underground artist to being like someone that's in the limelight.
Yeah.
Every word you say.
Yeah.
Or everything you do, you know?
Yeah.
I guess.
True. A lot of pressure.
A lot of pressure, for sure.
Yeah. And so for you now, right, with the music production, you're happy, right?
Yeah.
And you're writing a lot. What are the things that you're sort of like, is there artists that you're sort of vibing that sort of you would say that's influencing you a bit? Like, if there's some guys that you listen to go, mate, that's just, that's inspiring me and gives you an idea. What's this kind of, like, I have this kind of theory that it's one thing that we spend all our time in the studio. It's another thing to be sharing music and going to feel experience other people's tracks, right?
Yeah.
Is there a bit of that going on for you with artists that you're sort of vibing on at the moment?
Definitely. There's
or a type of sound. Maybe might not be a specific artist, but like certain attributes of sounds.
I don't really think that there's any kind of sound that I'm super into. Like I find myself digging for like indie records, indie dance records, and then find myself listening to like trance. It's probably like sometimes gets a little bit, I don't know. Like maybe I just confuse myself, but I've never really been stuck on like one kind of sound. I never go hunting for tech house records and that's it.
Yeah.
You know?
Imagine.
If I hear something that I'm into, I'll play it and I'll buy it or whatever. But
how do you buy it? How do you sort of dig, if you don't mind me asking at the moment? What's your kind of process in hunting?
I've been enjoying Bandcamp.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Wicked.
And I do like selling records on Bandcamp because you do get paid, you know, instantly. Cha-ching. It's like someone else purchases a tune, which is kind of sick. You don't have to like wait, like when do I get paid off Beatport or how do I get paid? I don't even know how I get paid off Beatport if something sells, but
yeah.
But I don't know. I listen to a ton of sets and stuff on SoundCloud, and I like listening to old sets on SoundCloud.
You got one in particular? Brings up a memory. You can think of artist that you like listening to?
some of the Aussie guys right now, there's like X Club,
Okay.
Skin on Skin. They're making some banging shit right now.
How good are those names? Skin Club and then
X Club and Skin on Skin.
Imagine like Skin on Skin presents X Club.
Oh, yeah. Mate, those guys are.
Where are they from?
X Club are from Brisbane.
Yeah.
So they're like.
Shout out to X Club.
Yeah, they're
homegrown.
Yep.
Skin on Skin.
Not sure where he's from.
Okay.
In Oz, but those guys are making sick shit.
Yeah.
Like hard banging stuff.
Yeah.
Kind of like, I don't know. I don't even know how you explain it. Tons of Aussie guys. More Grab.
Yeah.
DJ Boring.
Yeah.
They're all pretty inspiring.
Yeah.
DJ Boring's sick. I love his DJ sets. He mixes it up hard.
Yeah.
You know, he'll play old Bloghouse records. He'll play presets tunes.
Yeah.
And then he'll play some obscure techno record that I've never heard or something.
Yeah.
It's pretty sick.
That's fun.
It's sick.
That's fun.
You know, and I find that DJing was kind of lacking that a little bit. Watching a lot of the sets that I've been watching, you know, they just stick to one genre for 2 hours and you're like, fuck, come on, mix it up.
Yeah. Yeah. Or even give us one curveball.
Give us one curveball.
Give us a disco banger in between your techno set.
And the boys, the Need to Freak guys are inspiring the shit out of me. Like their sets are so fun. Hilarious, mate. They'll be playing they'll play One More Time, a Daft Punk record, into like the weirdest techno record, into something totally fruity. Like it's just fun.
Yeah.
Crowds love it.
Yeah.
You know, and the energy levels from pretty much all the guys that I just mentioned then are just crazy.
Yeah.
In the crowds, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's definitely been inspiring.
Are you sampling much? Given that kind of vibe, because you can kind of
what in the studio,
with that like sampling old classics that you vibe on, and then sort of building a track around that.
Of shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I think anyone with kind of a house music kind of style of production samples tons of shit. You know,
what's next for you in your? We spoke about moving on. Is that the next one coming out?
Yeah.
When's that dropping?
Don't know yet.
Coming out on Bandcamp?
Probably. Yeah, definitely.
Are you just doing Bandcamp?
I was thinking about it this morning and I was like, shit, I'm getting too relaxed in Bali right now. I probably should get on my laptop and like figure out how I'm going to piece these releases together, you know?
Yeah. How many tracks? Is it just a single or is it B-side?
I'll probably, if it's on my label, I'll probably do 2 or 3 tunes on it.
Wicked, man. And that's going to be exclusive to Bandcamp?
Nah. I don't know, like I'd probably just distribute it to all the
usuals.
DSPs, is that what it's called?
Yeah, the DSP that then distributes it to all the
just
beat ports and storefronts.
Yeah, get out to all that kind of stuff. But I don't know. I just normally when I just log on to the label distribution, I just click all.
Yeah.
You know.
Mate, I love your style. What's the track? What's the inspiration behind? Has it got a sample, like a vocal in it? And it's the track's Moving Me.
Don't know where I got it. Move Me.
How good? Move Me.
Yeah.
How good's it when you don't know where? Like, do you have this massive a cappella?
I'd rather not know.
Yeah. Right.
Because then I'd feel like I'm ripping it from somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally.
I don't know who's. Yeah. It's just got a sample. Move Me.
Yeah.
And then some other samples in there that have probably been chopped up enough that you can't tell.
That's just the name of the game, huh?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's where it all started, mate.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It still is. You know, and I think our industry feeds off that. The healthier, if I'm going to be honest, the healthier the sampling, the better the industry.
Yeah.
Because that's a whole nother art. You know.
For sure.
I didn't realize there's a couple of tracks that I did where I grabbed literally the original, full, like just the final track, right?
Yeah.
And tried to create samples within that track.
Yeah.
Right? Reversing, pitching down.
Yep.
Just grabbing little bits and pieces and then adding maybe your own drums, bass line, and creating a whole new track.
For sure.
A little bit inspired by sort of what Mark Ronson and those boys sort of do.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother world. And a lot of the old house stuff was just grabbing little loops.
Sure.
Of
and it was a lot harder back then.
A lot harder, man. And you give so much more cred back then. Now hearing how well they would, it's like combining 6 different songs to make your song.
For sure.
And it's incredible.
Yeah. It's also, same with creative DJing, you know?
Yeah. Same thing.
Yeah.
On the fly.
Yep.
Yeah, man. And so after here, going back to San Diego, little quick stop off to see the folks.
Yep.
When can we expect you back in Oz or Bali, especially?
I don't know, mate.
Got to get you back, man.
Yeah. That's
After
I
summer?
changed. Yeah, probably.
It gets cold there, yeah?
I'll be back in Oz probably November, and this is the first time I will have been able to since before COVID, like go back and spend 6 weeks there and kind of hang and do some touring, and I don't know, yeah, hopefully get back to Bali as soon as I can.
Wicked, bro. Well, I think we should wrap it up there.
How long did we go for?
Mate, we went 1 hour and 17.
Oh, good stuff.
Solid, bro. Really solid.
Good, honest shit talk right there.
I think there's a lot of. Can we just read out that? Who was that social media post that you quoted? Because you know,
Tasha TSHA.
TSHA.
She's sick.
Anyone out there that's feeling the love, please share it.
Yeah.
Because this industry could do with less comparing and more creating. And
for sure.
If you're
it's important.
That's what we do it.
Yeah.
You know?
For sure. And I think, it's just
you can be inspired by
I remember
someone.
seeing that and being like, oh, poor thing, like it's getting to her. Like
it's not fun.
Just the pressure of like, oh, maybe I'm not as good as it's bullshit.
Yeah.
You know? Just fucking
imagine
let it rip.
You are right though, like a boiler room thing. We all love it. But imagine the pressure and imagine the scrutiny that people get for their selection.
Yeah, and I think
that's not fun.
I think the biggest thing too is like a lot of artists are introverts.
Yeah, they are.
And then you're uncomfortably put into a world where you're supposed to be an extrovert. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're out there on stage being an extrovert, like a DJ, in front of thousands of people or whatever. But not every person is built for that. Like you've become that person probably because you're an amazing producer or something, which is something that you do at home behind closed doors
and spend a lot of time doing.
Yeah,
you know,
and
you're not Instagramming yourself in the studio. You're making beats.
Yeah,
you know, you're learning shit.
So a lot of people are like thrown into this world where they're not really have that kind of personality. You know, so you got to make it work. So that's kind of where it gets tough for some people, but.
Imagine how many songs.
You can pull it off, but I think social media or something like that, certain people like that can definitely take things in a weird way.
The industry is a bit distorted because I think the fans and the people that consume the music think that we're by default, because we're a producer / DJ, that we are celebrity type public speakers.
Yeah.
We're really not.
No.
A lot of people are that are famous or have high profiles in the industry, but that is not, it's distorted because it's not a true representation of artists.
Yeah.
You know, and
for sure.
Like you said, your agent or someone's agent was saying, you know, get that out. They get it because they're not the ones making it. So their job is to sell.
Yeah.
You know, but the most important thing about our community is people sticking together and supporting one another, because for me, it's so much easier to sell a Cut Snake record by supporting it than supporting my own. And that's why these little collectives and so, you know, we all need to stay together and just reach out to people's music that you enjoy.
I mean, especially for us, it's not a competition.
No.
You know?
It is with myself, you know, but not with other people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, I'm not trying to go outsell someone or outdo this. I mean, I think it's all about just making cool shit and doing it for yourself.
We have a different way where we look at if a track's we're proud of. And I think it's not sales or how much money we make, but it's more how true is it to how you feel.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, and if that translates across to other DJs, go, man, I get it.
Yeah.
They get the track.
Yeah.
You're like,
that makes you feel good.
Makes you feel good, man. Yeah. Warm and fuzzy.
When you put something out that you really like.
Means something.
Yeah.
And
people
people
good when I want to put this out because it feels good to me.
Yeah.
That's when it's the best.
Yeah.
I reckon.
Feeling.
Yeah.
Right from the feeling.
Yeah.
Let's write a record together called Feeling.
Yeah.
Let's sample some of this shit, man.
Yeah.
Deep house, though. We'll go deep, bro.
Yeah,
Go
let's
deep.
go.
Man, I just want to thank you so much for coming on the show. I sort of got you last minute. Really good to catch up with you, man.
Yeah.
You know, this time
Always,
around.
for sure.
And we'll be in touch. We'll talk after the show about the crate thing.
Sick.
Get you on.
Yeah.